Okay, so let's start the Nexus. Put enter and let's start it. Nexus space /run.
.exe na?
No, that's fine. This will also nexus.exe. Okay, let's do that. Run as admin कर बरं. Maybe तुझ्याकडे Nexus already चालू आहे. नाही wait. Can you just open another command prompt? I think you already have it. तो running आहे ना एक. You have to
Running है पर
just
मैं
start the
बात
browser. No. You have to just simply start the browser and access the dashboard. Correct. Yes, it is already running.
अच्छा
So, okay, let's do one thing. Now, let's sign in with the admin user. Correct. Click on OK. Okay, so first thing what we will do is we will do all the steps, okay, here. Right from creating the blob store as I mentioned, then users, roles and repository. Okay, so all the steps we will do and we will, have the recording for it. So first let's start by creating the blob store. So go to the settings. Correct. On the left hand side, click on blob stores. So let's delete this blob store. We will create a new one, the second one. So just click on the second one. And if you can delete it, let's scroll down.
डिसेबल है
It is disabled. Okay, maybe it is used by a repository. That's why. Okay, wait. Let's do one thing. Click on cancel here. Go to the repositories. Repositories first. Correct. Let's delete the repository. Calculator repo. So delete repository, the first button on the top. Click on it. Click on yes. Correct. Now let's go to the blob store. Now it will allow us to delete.
ओके हे पण डिलीट करू का
Let's
कॅल्क्युलेटर
delete it. Yes. Let's delete these repositories. We will create the repositories again. Okay. Go to the blob stores. Now click on this Java libraries. Scroll down. Click on delete. Correct. Now let's create the blob store. Now we have already understood what blob store is. So basically blob store is a folder, okay, which will hold our artifacts which we would be pushing to the repository to which this particular blob
हेलो
store is attached. Yes.
आवाज कट
Yeah,
झालाय
just a minute. Let me just change my network. Wait. Yeah, okay. Now are you able to hear me?
येतोय आता
Yes. So basically, what I was saying is like blob store is a location, okay, a folder location in which the artifacts would be stored. Okay. So instead of storing the artifacts in a single directory on a Nexus server side, we can create different directories and we can like store our artifacts pushed to the repositories in those respective directories. So that is what the blob store is. So let's create one. Click on create blob store. Let's click on this drop down. This is a file. Correct. File type of a blob store. Let's give it a name, Java libraries. Any name you can provide, correct? This is the path. If you see the field path, so this is where the artifacts would be stored on this location. So by default, the artifacts get stored inside the default directory inside the blobs folder. But as we have created a different blob store here, so we have created here a blob store called Java libraries. So this is the name of the folder we have got inside the blobs. So inside this blobs folder location, there would be a Java library folder created, and inside that folder, whatever the jar files we will push to this artifact repository, those jar files would be stored there. Okay, so let's click on this soft quota. So soft quota is basically like, wherein we are putting some constraint or a limit. Okay, so we are putting some limit on a size, how much it can use. So let's say space remaining, and we'll say 1000, correct. So what does this mean is like here on this location on your machine E colon, so in this location, whatever the disk size you have, so out of that disk size, our blob stores or our all the artifacts whatever we will push now, so those would be stored here on this location, and they will consume this disk space which is there on this E drive. Now this disk space would get consumed, and we will get the notification, uh, once only 1 GB of space, once all the all the disk space will get consumed on that E drive except last 1 GB, then we will get the notification so that we can take some corrective action. So that is what this soft quota is. So click on save. Correct. Now let's go to the cleanup policy. Let's create a cleanup policy also. Let's remove this cleanup policy which we have created, and let's create a from scratch again. So just scroll down, click on delete. Correct. Now let me explain what is cleanup policy. Basically, cleanup policy is when you create any repository and you start pushing your artifacts to that repository, sooner or later your entire disk space is going to get consumed and your machine or your Nexus server will get out of disk space, right? So we do not want this to happen. Our Nexus server should not go out of disk space. So there should be some periodic, like there should be some way using which periodically we can clean up this disk space by deleting the old artifacts or by deleting the artifacts which are not in use now, right? So this is what the cleanup policy is for. So this cleanup policy cleans up, it deletes the unnecessary artifacts and it keeps the disk space clean, and it saves our Nexus server from getting out of disk. Okay, this is what the cleanup policy. So let's create a cleanup policy. Click on create cleanup policy. Let's give it a name. So let's say Java library cleanup policy. Correct. Then format. So this cleanup policy we are creating for Maven repository. So Maven 2 should be the type. Here we can write a description. Let's say maybe what this cleanup policy is going to do, but this is an optional field, so let's keep it blank. Now what should be the criteria, like which artifacts should be marked for a deletion? Okay, so either we can write some criteria based on age. Age means since when this particular artifact is there in the repository. Let's say if I select this age checkbox, okay, just select a age checkbox, and let's say any artifact which is older than 60 days, we want to mark it for deletion. So this cleanup policy, Nexus server will run this cleanup policy periodically. Every day it will run this cleanup policy, and the artifacts which satisfies this particular criteria of being older than 60 days, those would be deleted. So this is the meaning of this component age. But instead of component age, let's create a cleanup policy based on component usage, because there could be there could be chances that your artifact is lying there in the repository since many days and that is still in use. So just the component usage should be the component usage is the right parameter we should consider for marking the artifact for deletion instead of component age. Age just denotes that since how many days that particular artifact lies inside the repository. So that is what component age is. But the best criteria is component usage. So this component usage defines that if there is any artifact which has not been downloaded since more than 60 days, so we can consider that no project are using this particular artifact, so let's mark it for deletion. So let's click on this and let's mark it 60. So all the artifacts which have not been downloaded since 60 days, those would be deleted, right? And click on save. Perfect. So we have created the cleanup policy. We have created the blob store. Now let's create the users. So go to the users. Correct. Let's create these users again from scratch. Just delete the last two users and we will create them from scratch. And click on create user, create local user. Yes. So you can give some ID for this user. So let's say Priya Junior and Priya Senior, so that it would be easy for us to identify the users also based on their roles, which we would be shortly defining. So you can put a name, last name,
व्हॅलिड ईमेल आय डी द्यावं लागेल का? नाही ना?
you can provide any email ID. That need not be a valid one.
ओके. इथे स्टेटस
Status, yes, just select active. And we will define the roles afterwards. We will assign the role afterwards because we have to first define it again, right? So just click on create local user. I think this field is okay. This field is mandatory, it looks like. So so let's wait. Let's click on cancel. Let's create the roles first and then we'll create the the users. So go to the roles.
हे डिलीट करू ना?
Yes. Nexus role. You can define the role ID. So basically role is what? That role is a collection of permissions. Okay, so let's say we have different set of team members, or I mean different team members performing different kinds of responsibilities in our team. So depending on the contribution they would be doing in the team, so we will give them the permissions accordingly, right? So that is what the role is. So role name we have defined, junior DevOps engineer. So this particular role is defined for those users which are junior, and they are not having much of the responsibilities, so they would be only required to download the artifacts, so they won't be pushing any new artifacts to the repository. They won't be doing any kind of modifications in the repository. No deletions are allowed and all, right? So they only have the read permissions, considering the kind of contribution they are going to make in our team. So that is the role we are defining. So let's give the privileges. So here we have to give them the privileges, but now to give them the privileges we need to first create the repository, because based on the repository we can give the privileges. So let's click on save for now. Just scroll down and click on save for now. Then we will come back to this again to assign the permissions, because in order to assign the permissions we have to create the repository, and based on that repository we have to provide the corresponding permissions. So let's create one more role and then we will go to the repository creation process. So create one more role, define its type as again Nexus role. Role ID senior. So this particular role we are defining for senior DevOps engineers. So role name. So let's scroll down. Let's keep this privileges assignment for later and click on save. Correct. Now let's go to the repository and let's create the repository, and then we will assign the permissions to the roles. So click on create repository. So select Maven to hosted repository, hosted. Correct. Let's give a name. So we will give here a name as calculator repo. Right, then just scroll down. This version policy should be released, because this is a release type of a repository. Then just scroll down, storage. So blob store. So let's select the blob store which we had created, this Java libraries. So all the artifacts which could be pushed to this repository would be stored inside that blob store, inside that directory created for that blob store. That is the point. Let's scroll down, and deployment policy. So deployment policy has mainly two options: disable redeploy and allow redeploy. These are the main two options we need to understand. So disable redeploy means once you have any artifact with the specific version available or already uploaded to the artifact repository, then you cannot overwrite it. Okay, so you cannot push one more artifact with the same version to this repository. That is the purpose. So basically this is what you will set to any repository which is used for production purpose, from where your customers are using the artifacts. So definitely once the artifact is released and customers start using them, then you definitely do not want anyone to touch those artifacts. Those should be untouched. Those artifacts no one should be able to overwrite, okay, even accidentally or even deliberately. So for those kinds of repositories we should have disable redeploy. So let's set, as this is a release kind of a repository, a production repository, so let's keep a disable redeploy. So click on this option and scroll down, and to this particular repository we want to set up the cleanup policy which we just defined like previously. Correct. Now scroll down and click on create repository. Perfect. Now we have the repository set. Now let's go to the roles so that we can assign the privileges for this particular repository. Correct. So let's go to the junior DevOps engineer. Scroll down and we have to assign this particular role. We have to assign the required privileges for the repository we just created. So on the right hand side, so on the left hand side we have all the privileges available, and on the right hand side we want to specify those privileges out of the available ones which we really want to assign to this role. So on the right hand side, inside the on the left hand side, let's type calculator repo, because this is the name of the repo for which we have to assign the privileges. Correct. Now we want to keep a very minimum like permissions for this particular role, as this is gonna be a junior person role, right? So let's come down, and there must be a NX repository view. So there must be correct. So just scroll down. So we want to only provide a read and browse access to this. So just scroll down. Correct. So this repo add is not the one we want to provide. There must be repo read. Just scroll down. Correct. This repo browse. Wait. This repo browse we want to provide. So just drag and drop to the right hand side list. So drag it from there. Correct. And there must be edit also. Not edit. Sorry, read also. The last one. This also we have to provide. Just click on that plus sign. Correct. Okay, or double click on it. Correct. Now just scroll down. Scroll till the end of this page and click on save. We are done with assigning the privileges. Click on save. Correct. Now let's assign the privileges to the senior DevOps engineer. So this senior DevOps engineer role should have more permissions than what the junior DevOps engineer role has. So go to this repo, calculator repo, and to this role we want to provide all the delete, edit and all those permissions. So just scroll down. Correct. This one, add permission, let's provide. Correct. Then delete permission, let's provide. Then this one, edit permission, let's provide, and read permission, let's provide. So this particular group, as it denotes the senior person in the team, so this should have more privileges, right? So we are basically trying to represent two different kinds of groups here from our team, one junior and another senior. So junior will have only restricted permissions, whereas seniors will have more permissions than what junior has. So save. Correct. So we have the roles and everything. Now let's go to the repository. No, sorry, let's go to the user, because we have to assign these roles to the users now. So let's create the user, because we just cancelled the previous user creation now. So let's create the junior user first. Correct. Let's put everything, and let's assign this user a junior DevOps engineer. So just select this and put it to the right side list. Correct. And just scroll down and click on create local user. So this local user is created with junior role. Now let's create one more user to which we will assign senior DevOps engineer. Scroll down. Password do not match. Okay, the password which you have set in the password field and the confirm password, they don't match. So just put the right password. Click on create user. Perfect. So we got all the users created. We got the this blob store created. We got cleanup policy created. We got roles created. We got roles assigned to the users as well. Now let's configure our projects to use these roles and to use these users and repository. So go to the Eclipse. Correct. And let's go to the calculator API project. Calculator API projects POM XML. Just scroll down. Okay, so you already have configured this distribution management. Just select those lines so that I can explain you those. Line number 31, correct, 31 to 36. So basically this calculator API project is going to create a jar file, okay, and that particular jar file we are going to push to this repository. So this particular project needs, like when we will push or run a deploy this deploy phase, then the deploy plugin of our Maven, it is going to access our repository, the one which we just created, and it is going to push the artifact to that repository. So there are mainly two settings here in this. So one is ID and one is URL. So let's first put the URL of our repository. So go to the Nexus dashboard again to get the repository URL. Correct. Now click on the top side. You see two icons, right? So just click on the first one. Click on the browse on the left hand side. Click on the first correct. Go inside this. No, wait a minute, I'll show you. Go to the settings. Go to the settings instead of browse. Go to the repositories. Go to this calculator repo. Go inside this and copy this URL of this repository. And go to the POM XML. And just replace this URL which we have here. Save. Correct. Now ID. So what this ID is, basically our repository, if when we will run mvn deploy command, our deploy plugin will run, and the deploy plugin will actually try to push our artifact, a created jar file, to the repository. So to do that, it needs the username and password to access the repository, right? So how it will get the username and password? So what we will do is, we will configure the username and password having the rights to push the artifact to the repository inside the settings XML against this ID, and from this ID, it will read this ID from here. It will go to the settings XML. It will try to find where this ID is configured there, and then it will read the credentials. So I'll just show it this in the settings XML. So can you please open the settings XML? That must be there in your C users. C users. Users, the correct this one. Ronak, yes, the current user. .m2.
मैं ते
Okay, you
create
do
ना
not have the
पकेला
settings XML, no problem. Can you go to our this what? Can you go to our Google Drive folder? There we have already uploaded that.
setting code ना
Settings.xml we have already uploaded to our Google Drive folder. So can you just
एक
go to that?
माझ्याकडे होतं ते एक
Okay,
सेकंड
just can you just show it to me? Settings. No, I got it. Go to the downloads folder. I saw it there.
हाँ डाउनलोड
Downloads.
हो गया है
Settings. This one. Correct. Copy this file. No, settings. Fourth one. Correct. Copy this file. No, you have to copy this file from there and put it in that location.
अच्छा पूर्ण कॉपी करून का
ती आखी फाईलच कॉपी करावी लागेल. You have to copy that file. Don't open it. Copy that file. Right click copy or control C, whatever. Go to that C users.m2 location and put that file here. Perfect. Now open this file. Open it in a notepad. Don't double click. It is getting opened inside the browser. You have to open it inside the notepad. So right click, open with and notepad. Yes. Correct. So here if you see there is a tag called server entry. Server I mean. So inside that server we have ID, username and password. So here we have to configure a senior user. A user which has the senior role assigned. So we created two users, senior and junior. The senior has senior role assigned which has the write access, and junior has junior role assigned which has only read access. Correct. And the ID. Can you just just select that ID, my repo ID. Correct. So there let's mention it as senior ID. Instead of my repo ID, senior. Correct. SR. That's fine. Save this. Now
and in the repository
this
path
is fine. This is just the location of the local repository where the local repository would be created.
okay
But this is fine. This has got nothing to do with our deploy operation. This is the local repository by default. Local repository maven repository gets created inside C users.m2 repository folder, where all your dependencies or all your plugins by default gets downloaded. So if you want to change that location, you do not want to use the default location, but you want to change the location according to your wish. So you can change it by defining this local repository tag inside the settings XML. But this has got nothing to do with our deploy operation. So let's keep it as is, doesn't matter. Now what I want to mention is, let's select this server entry. Let's create one more server entry. Let's copy this and put it correct after this. Paste. Correct. And let's put junior there, ID. And configure the username and password for junior user. Correct. Perfect. So we created two server entries denoting two users here. So the user credentials for those two users we mentioned in this settings XML, and we put them against the ID. Okay. So we put these credentials against the ID, and these IDs we are going to mention, just a minute. So we are going to we basically mentioned the credentials of these two users in two different server entries. Each server entry has got a unique ID set. Okay, now this ID we are going to refer in our POM XML. So can you just go to the POM XML of your calculator API? Correct. Now here this is a calculator API project, right, which is going to push the jar file to the repository. So it needs the senior user access. So the ID which we have mentioned there for a senior user, that ID we have to define here. So senior SR. Perfect. So now wait here. Now what will happen is, like, once we will run mv and deploy, what will happen is, like, in this POM XML it will read the ID from this configuration SR. It will go to the settings XML. Can you go to the settings XML? Go to the settings XML. Correct. So using that SR ID, it will check which server entry defined in this file has got that SR ID defined or mentioned. That SR ID it will find for the first server entry. Then that server entry has got the username and password configured, so it will take those credentials, username and password, and it will try to access the repository, and the artifact would be pushed. So ID is used to find the user credentials which would be used to push, or I mean for that matter, access the repository for pulling or pushing whatever operation you are performing. So ID would be read from the POM XML. It will come here, that deploy plugin. It will check which server entry that ID is defined for. From that server entry it will read the username and password, and using these credentials it will try to access our repository, and it will try to push the artifact. Now what should this push would be successful if the user configured here against this SRID has the required permissions. Now we already have provided the senior DevOps engineer role, okay, which has got the required write permissions, read permissions, browse. So all kinds of permissions are available to this user, Priya SR user. So as this Priya SR user is having all the required permissions, so the push would be successful. So save this file, Control S. Save your POM XML also. Go to the POM XML. Save this, Control S. Correct. Now go to the command prompt. Command prompt, this CD, and let's do the release of this now. CD space and location of your calculator API project, the entire path. So copy the path of your calculator API project, where it is stored. Go to that location. Correct. Paste it. Enter. Correct. So we are inside the project folder. Now let's run the deploy phase. So mvn space clean space deploy. This is the command. Enter. Enter. So it will first compile our source code. It is currently downloading all the required plugins. Then it will compile our source code. Then it will compile, okay, what is this? A result folder. Okay, I got it. Basically you didn't mention the result. Okay, result folder in the testng XML. Okay, can you just show me your testng XML? What testng XML do you have? I think you don't. Test calculator.xml. Wait. Test calculator.xml. There it is. No, just below the entry you have selected. Correct. Go there. Here you define the result folder. Wait a minute. Result folder, RESULT okay, result folder. And can you just show me our before suit and after suit, those annotations? You must have written them somewhere. Can you just show me the command prompt? There you have got the error actually. Wait, here it is not able to get this parameter actually. Result folder is required by before suit on method create result folder. Correct. So go to, okay, I'll tell you, go to the test addition functionality.java file. Do you have here before suit written? Can you just scroll down? You must be having somewhere before suit and after suit written. So we have to just find where you have written those two functions. Before suit. Correct. Wait. Now result folder. Wait a minute. Result folder, and string result folder. Correct. Wait a minute. I just want.
लोकेशन आहे ना माझं.
No, this is fine. No, the error what it is getting is like it is this particular before suit and after suit. No, we have like annotated parameters, right? So in this parameters we have provided the name of the parameter as result folder. So this result folder parameter value would be sent to this particular before suit and after suit. But what it is saying is it is not able to find it. So can you just copy this name, result folder name, copy it and go to your test calculator XML. I think there is some mismatch in the name you defined there and the name you have used here. Correct. So just paste it here, result folder. Okay. Correct. Save this and run this. Ambient clean deploy. Show me that command prompt. Wait. Show me the command prompt. Okay. Wait. Result folder is required by before suit on method create result folder but has not been marked optional or defined. Okay. Can you just scroll up? Just scroll up. Wait here. Okay, test addition functionality, create result folder. Can you just go to test addition functionality file again? Create result folder, correct? Parameters, result folder. This name should be same. The name which you have defined on line number 82, the name which you have defined on line number 84, and the name which you have defined in the test ng XML. These names should be same. So let's check it out once. Correct, string result folder. It looks fine. Can you just scroll up and show me from where you have imported this parameters annotation? I think it has been imported from a wrong package. Just click on this plus sign on this import. Click there. Show me where you have. Okay, you have correct. You have imported it from the right the package. There is no doubt. Okay, just scroll down and show me what is the name you have provided. There is some problem in the name of the parameter you have provided. Wait, parameters and result folder, RESULT folder, RESULT RESULTFOLDER. That is correct. Just a moment. Result folder. Everything seems absolutely fine, but it is somehow not getting that. Okay, can you show me your can you just show me your POM XML again? I think you have not configured. Show me the POM XML. Your Surefire plugin. You didn't configure the Surefire plugin actually. Correct. So I'll tell you like what you need to do. There is a Surefire plugin. Correct. On line number 57, just park at the end of this line number 57. Hit enter. Hit enter. Control space bar. Control space. Configuration. Correct. Select the first one. And let's create the blank lines in between this configuration tags. No, blank lines instead of space. Just hit enter and create the blank lines. Hit enter. Hit enter.
Okay. Sorry.
No, you put dashes. You have to put enter. Hit enter. And okay, just get inside this and control space bar again. Suit XMLs. So we have to configure this Surefire plugin to call our test.ng XML. So suit XMLs. Just type for SUITE. Suit XMLs. XML files. Correct. This one. Correct. Now create lines between these tags and again put control space bar. No, that is correct. Correct. Okay, just create the lines. Control space bar. Suit XML file. Correct, the first one. And here you have to provide the name of your test.ng XML file, which is testcalculator.xml. Between suit XML file. Suit XML file. Correct, there itself. Correct. You are right. Correct. You are on the right line. Testcalculator.xml, which is the name of your test.ng XML. So write the name of the file. Testcalculator.xml. Save. Correct. Now go to this like command prompt and run mvn clean deploy. Okay. Now just scroll up. Wait. What it says? Surefire reports for individual test results. Correct. Okay.
So path.
Exit state. Okay. Can you just check that path maybe?
तो चुकीचा आहे path.
Okay. So you have to correct that path. Go to that test addition. Test addition functionality.java, but that previous error is gone now. It has executed. Correct. This is the path. This path you need to correct.
इथून येईल ना तो.
Yes. Copy this path. And wait. Just select until this. Correct. D:DevOps calculator API. Just replace that. Okay. You want to replace the entire thing. That's also fine. Surefire reports.
इतकंच ना.
Don't select the emailable report.html. Select only this part of the path. Correct. Correct. The rest of the things are fine. That's fine. And you have to do this. I think that's fine. So let's run it.
सगळ्या फाईल मध्ये ते चेंज करावं लागेल ना
नाही,
मला.
it is there in only one file. बाकी कुठेही नाही आहे ते. Just scroll up. I'll tell you what is the problem. Just scroll up. What it says. Okay, wrong name. What is this? Priya test multiplication.
हे सेम हे
टेस्ट
नेम
मल्टिप्लिकेशन फंक्शनॅलिटी. मग तुझ्या क्लासचं नाव काय आहे? टेस्ट मल्टिप्लिकेशन. ना. What it says is this test multiplication functionality. Line number 18.
18. हा हे
Priya dot
हे
test.
सेम नाव पाहिजे ना.
Go inside this. Wait. Go inside that file. Test multiplication functionality. Go inside that file. Just scroll up. Show me the name of a class. No. Show me the name of a class. Priya is the name of package. So copy this name and go to that XML. Put it here. That name. No, that didn't got copied actually. Save this XML file where there is some change it has detected. Correct. Now go to the command prompt and run. Correct. So it has executed everything now. This is fine. Okay, multiplication is not working. So there are two test cases which are failed. So we need to correct them. Otherwise the packaging and deployment will not be done. So just correct these expected results. Test addition with negative numbers, right? Addition is not working with two negative numbers. Expected minus 10 but found minus 30. Okay, so let's change it to minus 30. So go to the addition. Addition. Test addition functionality. And there must be one test case. Test addition with two negative numbers. Correct. Line number 73. Line number 73, the expected result should be minus 30. Correct. And go to the multiplication. There is one more test case failed in multiplication. Wait. Just scroll down. 7345. Just scroll down. There is one more test case wherein we are checking it with 0. So this result should be 0, right, on 80. Because anything multiplied with 0 gets result as 0. Correct. Save and run it again. Now all test cases will be covered up and our jar file would also be packaged. Correct. So now it will push the jar file. Correct. Now let's go to the repository. Go to the Nexus. Click on that first icon on top. Correct. Go to the browse. Browse. Calculator repo. Correct. So 2.0 our jar file got released. Okay, so this is all fine, there is no doubt. Now let's configure our consumer project to download this as a dependency. So go to the consumer project now. consumer project POM XML. Correct. Now just show me if you have configured repositories tag. Just scroll down. Scroll down, scroll down, scroll down.
No.
Just scroll down further. Okay, so you have not configured it. Okay, let me just give you the just a moment. Repositories tag in POM XML. Correct. So I'm giving you this. So you just put it. So Pranit has given it. Yes, just put the repositories tag provided by Pranit. Copy it and just scroll up and just put it before the build tag after dependencies. Correct. Paste it there. Correct. So now this particular project is going to download our jar file from the repository. So just correct the URL of this repository. Go to the Nexus, the same URL. Correct. Go to the settings. Settings. Repositories. This this one. Correct. Copy this URL. Go to the POM XML of consumer project. Put this URL there, line number. What that line number is, I'm not able to see it. But the URL now, do you see the URL configured there?
44.
44 line number. Priya, you there? You are on mute actually.
Okay.
Just replace that URL.
Paste.
Correct. Okay.
Yes.
Correct. Okay.
Paste केलंय.
ठीक है. Okay. Perfect. Now this ID. So the ID we have to provide of that another server entry where we have configured in the settings XML. Go to the settings XML. Wait. Go to the settings XML. Settings XML in the notepad. Correct.
तो आवाज कट होते प्रणव.
Okay. Are you able to hear me now?
आता येतोय पण आता मधात थोडासा झाला.
Just copy this ID JR junior, which is for the JR or junior user, and just put it there in that POM XML. So this junior user has the read access. So this consumer project needs a read access because it is going to download the jar file. It is not going to push it. So save this. Perfect. And just let's do one thing. Now go to the calculator API. POM XML. Okay. Then just go up and change the version to 3.0. Go up. 3.0, line number 8. So let's release a new version of our calculator API. Save this and run mvn clean deploy. So this will release a new version of our jar file to the Nexus repository, and our consumer project will use this as a dependency. So our 3.0 got released. So go to the Nexus repo, check the Nexus repo, go to the first icon, browse, go inside this calculator repo, and we are good. 3.0 is released. Now go to the consumer project. Consumer project POM XML. Correct. And do you see line number 37 where we have defined the version for our calculator API. There you just put it 3.0. So this project will download as soon as you will save this. No, this project will download this dependency from our Nexus repository and it will connect to your project. Now go to your C users, not C users, I think your local repo is, go to the settings XML, I'll tell you where is your location. Location is D my local repo, correct. Now go to the D colon, this PC D colon, my local repo, and Priya. Go inside the calculator API. 3.0 is downloaded, right? The second folder from top. So this 3.0 jar file, just go inside this. So this jar file, calculator API 3.0 jar file got downloaded from our Nexus repository. Clear?